Welcome back to the Yo Hear Me Out podcast, and we're your hosts. My name is Avery, that's Leland, and this is episode 3. We want to thank you guys for listening to the podcast, all the feedback we've received so far, and so thank you so much for rocking with us. So Leland, how you feeling, fam?
Yeah, bro. Feeling good, man. Like you said, a lot of positive feedback on the podcast so far. Doing some YouTube shorts and stuff like that. It's been fun, man. This has been a fun few weeks, man. I'm like I said last week, I'm just really excited about the journey of this podcast and like where it goes, wherever that might be. Like it's dope. So I'm liking it. What about you, man? How's your week going so far, man? Since last week.
It's been a good week, man. It's been a good week. I think in the last week I had a eye doctor's appointment, and so as you know, bro, I got LASIK surgery about 3 months ago, so I had like a 3-month checkup this weekend. Yeah, things are looking good, man. I'm seeing 2020. Eyes are fully healed, so that's pretty exciting. That's the main new thing for me to LASIK. Yeah, so it's exciting. Last week I was wearing the glasses. Those are just blue light glasses, so my days of the glasses are limited, not over, but limited. You know what I mean?
I don't know. You hate on the glasses, bro. You talked about this before, man. The glasses not that bad to me. Like I guess, like you said, you had them early. I got them late in life, so maybe that's not it. But
yeah, man. The thing is, bro. So I had glasses since second grade, so a long time. And yeah, when I had glasses when I was younger too, I remember when things used to always get broken. They used to be crooked.
Yeah, it's annoying.
All kind of stuff here. So, and also they weren't even the most stylish. If you look at glasses then and the glasses they're putting out now, also fashion has changed a little bit. But yeah, back in the what's that? 2000s, early 2000s, late 90s, I guess. Now things weren't popping like that, man. The glasses, especially the ones I was rocking. So that's why I couldn't wait to get contacts. I had contacts in high school and stuff. And then I just got lazy and went to glasses. And then I said, you know what? Let me get lazy or just get LASIK.
Yeah, I can imagine like it is like you trying to hoop or work out.
Oh yeah, they used to always fall off my face.
Yeah, that's the worst part about it for me. Considering the fact that you need them to see. Oh, yeah. But other than that, man, I can rock with them for a little bit. But I might think of the LASIK too, man. So
that's pretty smooth, man. Definitely good recommendation. We'll talk about it another time. But yeah, definitely I recommend it for those listening for sure.
Cool. Well, yeah, like my week was, I'll just summarize it pretty quick. Like it's my week has been pretty good, man. Like I said, I've just been trying to ramp up work, real estate, looking at some properties, probably go look at a couple tomorrow. The seasons are changing. This is like the good time for the market, like the top of the year. People are kind of gearing up for spring and summertime when everything gets a little bit hotter in real estate. So everybody's trying to get their hands on a project or something like that. So I'm kind of doing the same right now. It's a little hectic, but it's not bad. So all things good here, man. All things good here.
Are you saying it's a good time to sell or buy right now, like in the winter?
It's a good time to buy right now. It's a good time to buy because traditionally the market picks up in the spring. And so, you want to buy kind of right now, end of the year. Christmas and holiday season is like the depressed market typically. If you're talking about a normal real estate cycle in a yearly basis, the end of the years when everything kind of goes down, and then the start of the year starts to pick up, but it doesn't really kind of hit its swing until about springtime or summertime. So that's what we're kind of anticipating right now. And so trying to get a little fix and flip project going. And we're going to look at some stuff for tomorrow and this week and see what we can wrap up. So yeah. So for sure. But man, let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. Like we had what we say last time, right? The lovely Ashley's gonna come in and give us some would you rather questions that we can chop it up this week. What you got, babe?
All right. So the first one is, would you rather be forced to live the same day over and over again for a full year, or take 3 years off the end of your life?
Same day.
Shoo. Okay.
Here's the thing. Both of them, you kind of losing a year at least. That same day over and over. A few days in, maybe a weekend or so, you're like, this young kind of, it's the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
So it's really 1 versus 2 years, basically. Or is that right? Is that the right math? I think so. Yeah, 1 versus
kinda.
2. Yeah.
I mean, you're not lose. I mean, you're losing it, but you're not. Yeah, you're losing it. I mean, you got to be losing it. And that's
after a while, it's gonna get repetitive. After a while, I get repetitive, man. So I might go. Depending if I had a long life, I'd probably go to 3 years, lose 3 years. But then again, you don't know how long you got.
But that in itself is the issue.
Absolutely.
You have no idea how long you're gonna live, and boy, that means you pick that option. You might drop dead tomorrow, son.
Right now, saying it morbidly, but yeah. So
yeah, like you could you could be.
You know what? Here's the thing: the same day question. What usually happens in those types of movies where your person's reliving the same day. It's usually something traumatic, though, like a killer or like a car crash, or they're trying to save someone that dies. It's something usually traumatic, which makes the day like, oh snap. Like for instance, I know a lot of movies have done this. There was that movie, what was it? Happy Death Day, Happy Birth Death, or something like that. I didn't watch it, but it came out like a year or two ago. But then also like even that Doctor Strange joint on Disney, where he was kind of reliving the same day over and over to try to save his wife who dies in a car wreck. But if you just have a normal day, it may not be that bad, because also even in those movies, people also do different things each time. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to do the exact same thing. Usually a person tries to deviate here or there, do something differently. So if I had to live over like January 31st, this is when we're recording, over and over again.
And you knew it, and you knew you were living it over every day.
Yeah, but I'm just gonna do different things. Like even today. Well, listen, my boss don't listen to this. Yeah, today I take a half day, my boy. You know what I'm saying? So I just take a few days sometimes.
What you say I went out to you said last time you said my boss was out of town. I was out of town too.
Hey, listen, positive thing. So this week, I guess not that positive, but basically my boss kind of texted us around like 10:30. I was already in lab though, and she was like, "Yo, she's shutting down lab for a few days. Someone had a COVID scare." They're feeling fine, but it was a COVID scare. And I was like, yo, bet. So that's why, I dipped out today. But in general, if it's just one random day, I could skip work a day. I could try to convince someone, yo, let's just skip today. You know what I'm saying? You could do different things. So it don't have to be the same exact thing every day.
For 365 times, bro.
It'll just become like living a regular day at that point. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to do the exact same thing every day. As long as you don't have nothing pressing. Like you have a doctor's appointment or a surgery, that would kind of suck every day to go into the same thing. But today was a regular day for me. So if it's a regular day, I have flexibility and nothing like traumatic or crazy happens. So it's just always going to be January 31st. It's going to be cold outside and rainy. Actually, that might suck now. It was cold and rainy today. So that might, a year
365 times of that.
Cold and rainy today.
Tough. It's kind of tough, bro.
Yeah. What you think, man?
So listen, we gotta keep you honest, man, because this is the third time, right? So before I give you my take, what are you landing on? Like, what's your stance?
I will relive the day, man. I will relive the day for sure.
All right. I'm gonna probably have to say the same thing, bro. It's just I can't take 3 years off my life for no reason, and I don't know how long I'm living. Like, it's just kind of like, what was that thing from last week where we were like, you have a choice, and the other one you don't have a choice? What was that one?
I think it was like a pause button or a rewind button, or a fast forward, so rewind, pause button or rewind button.
Something like that, or maybe it was the kiss one.
Okay,
no teeth, because it's like you just have a choice. Hey, I can just do this for the next year, but I have a choice not to lose 3 years off my life. I'm gonna have to go with that one, bro. It just is what it is, bro. I'm not trying to lose no years off the life that you don't know what the end of it is.
You know what though? Now I'm thinking about it, that job might be kind of clutch. I might start getting kind of crazy and adventurous. I might start trying some stuff. Knowing I gotta redo, I might start trying. I just thought about
what you said. Huh? No regrets. You gonna start living?
Hey, no regrets, man. Because I was just thinking, like with real estate, you talk about real estate, right? You're not going to be able to progress your project at all in this year. You're standing still. You can't progress a project. You can't progress a relationship. You can't really do anything. You just reliving the same day over and over again.
But doesn't technically everyone else live the same day over and over again too?
In those movies, it's always that one person experiencing the day over and over again. No one else is experiencing it.
But it's January 31st to me and no one else.
No, it's January 31st again. Man, listen, I don't know the science behind this. One needs to science. Y'all know the science. Every time you wake up, it's January 31st. So in those movies, they try to convince someone like, and the person usually be like, nah. Or sometimes you have a movie where after a while, a person might start to like, you're right. When you start predicting, this happens next, this happens next. But usually that's where they're trying to save someone from something happening. Like someone dies and they're like, they don't believe you. Like, hey, what are you talking about? I'm going to work. No, you can't go to work. Trust me, you can't go to work. Look, what's about to happen now? Your phone's about to ring. It's about to be your mom. Okay, what's she gonna say? Well, she gonna say that the dog went out the house. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, which suggests that everyone else is reliving that same day, bro.
Yes,
it has to.
No, but in those things, so what I've seen happen is that people, they do make different decisions. So like in order to try to save someone, instead of taking this road home, they'll take this road home. And what I'm saying for a normal day, if it's a normal day, some of these days, I'm gonna convince like my girl to like, hey, skip work. You see what I'm saying? Or I'm just gonna skip work and do something else. It's just one day at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? I could do a lot of stuff within that one day's time. So
it's gonna be the same day tomorrow. That's what I'm saying. Like everybody else is gonna pretty much. Your boss has to react the same way. It's the same day.
Now that's gonna be tough though.
She's not gonna say. She's not gonna be like, "Oh, you was late yesterday." Like,
no.
When you wake up in the morning, it's gonna be all good. So like, you kind of have an advantage there because, like you said, you knowing that it's gonna be the same day can do different things. Everybody else is gonna do the same, and you can kind of literally just
do whatever. I could dip off for 24 hours. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna hop on a flight today.
That's it. Matter of fact, this just might be kind of clutch. I run up the credit card one time. Hey, yo, I'm out of here.
Tomorrow is good. And tomorrow is good.
Low key, it's almost not enough time now. I think of it. You really need to do the same week over and over for 52 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Because you can actually.
How we turn this joint to be from normal to lit? Like that's
you see what I'm saying, bro? You and Ashley go somewhere crazy, son. You know what? Forget us. Hop on a flight right here, son. Now, within reason, you can't hop on no 12-hour flight the day about over with. You know what I'm saying? But you can definitely hop to the Caribbean, hop to Mexico one time.
And if you got bread too, and that bread gonna be still in your account tomorrow. I'm reliving the same day. I'm gonna have a crazy day that one day. And I'm gonna live it again tomorrow. That's not that bad, bro.
It's actually, it's not that, like I said, you just can't progress anything, but I think you can have some fun. It's usually tough when people relive the same traumatic day. And then, like I said, when they're in a situation where they're trying to save a person, and no matter what they try, every single time it don't matter. That's where it gets like this.
But it don't. That's what I'm saying. This is where their would you rather is actually working in our favor because it doesn't say be forced to relive a traumatic day, just a day.
If it was a traumatic day, bro, there's just no way, man. That's depending on
no way.
Well, depending on if it's something out of your control, though, that's what I'm saying. Like, and then even Loki did the same thing. And Loki, you watch Loki?
No.
I think the same.
You know how I feel. You know how I feel about them superhero movies, bro.
I got you.
I'm off of them, son.
They producing a lot, man. I ain't gonna lie, they producing a lot, and like at this point,
I'm off of them, bro. I didn't see so many X-Men. I didn't see so many Spider-Man. I didn't see so many Hulks. I'm good, bro. I'm good. I feel like I'm reliving the same day over and over again, son.
Same here, son. Same here.
All right, yo. So we both on the side of relive the same day. What's next, babe? What you got?
Okay. Would you rather be able to take back anything you say or hear any conversation that is about you?
Ooh.
This one probably easy for
me. That's tough.
Nah, not for me. I think I got it. Take back anything you say. That's almost like reliving the same day, my boy. I can take chances. I can get out here saying some wild stuff, man. If it don't work out, all right, let me rewind that back. You know what I'm saying?
That's tough, man. But like hearing any conversation about you, though, bro, like that's privy information that you just might never know, man. Like, think about how you feel. Like your boss hates you, son. She hates you, bro.
It's too late. I already know that, son. You can't hurt me.
But imagine you didn't know it. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about it. With the amount of information you could do, like, because what I'm saying, you could say something to somebody. All right, here we go. I'm about to break this joint right here. No. You pick your joint first, bro. Pick your joint first.
I'm choosing to take back anything because that way I can. It's almost like I got a little mini rewind button. If I say something wrong, maybe not the smoothest way. It's like there's a thought process out there. I don't believe in this, but I've heard something like, what is it? Actually, that's stupid. I'm not gonna mention it, but I think if you say it was something like if you say a certain phrase of words, this is definitely some sci-fi joint, like you can kill anyone or something like that. I was like, nah, that's not quite what I was thinking about. But I feel like if you could just rewind your words, you can always just say the right thing, man. If something doesn't come off, if you make an inappropriate joke or you say something.
But all right. Mm-hmm. So that all right, cool. You got your take.
Okay.
I'm about to break this joint. Hold up. So, just like last time when we talking about the rewind button and the pause, it's like, but how do you know what you said wasn't good? It's still based off your understanding of what you said. And the likelihood is that whatever you said, you thought it was good to say. That's why you said it.
True. That's true.
True. So technically, like, think about it. Like, if you hear what someone had a conversation about, let's say you said something real foul or you said something rude or offensive, they go back and be like, man, I cannot believe what Avery said, man. I mean,
True.
That was so offensive to me.
True.
You could go back the next day and be like, you know what? Hey, I was sitting here thinking, and I really hate what I said yesterday, and I apologize for that because I can see how that could be offensive. And they'd be like, Dad, that's crazy. You know what? That's respect.
Yeah.
But if you just was like, yo, I can take back anything I say, you don't really know what you said to them was offensive. You know what I'm saying? Like, in passing, you just like, we're going to talk about it later, right? Especially like that movie, right? We're going to talk about it here in a little bit. But like that movie is like, they were saying some wild stuff and they really were oblivious to the idea of how it was affecting them because they weren't privy to the conversation that we're having afterwards. In the same situation, you would be in that same boat if you could just take back anything.
I get you, but listen, hear me out. Listen, I feel like they had, in the movie we're going to talk about later on the podcast, is You People. So even in that movie, though, I feel like Eddie Murphy's character, he knew he was being hard on the guy, whereas the Jonah Hill's mom didn't necessarily know. She didn't have any self-awareness. So for me, I like to think I have some self-awareness. And so I know most of the time if I say something, if I think back on it, not necessarily every time, but probably over 90% of the time, it's like, dang. So I could tell like a little demeanor change, like, yo, I went too far with the joke.
Yeah.
I said that joint. Dang, this shit didn't come off that smooth. You know what I'm saying? So if I usually catch up on those. There could be some rarer cases where it doesn't happen. But even to the point though, I feel like if you do offend someone and come back and say you said something wild, them coming back saying sorry may not fix that joint. Like, you know what? That's true. But like, yeah, but you still said something wild about my mama, about me, about my character.
Listen,
like you just went crazy a little bit,
All right, you cool. But what I'm saying is, why are you saying something crazy about somebody's mama though? That's mm-hmm. What I'm saying is, in reason, I can say whatever I want to and just take it back. That's kind of childish a little bit.
Well, I'm not saying that.
Like, nah, that's what you saying. I can say whatever I want.
I'm saying more so like if I don't say something right the first time, whether it be to like just to
on accident. So on accident, you talking about somebody's mama.
No, not their mom, but what if I don't say something the smoothest? You know what I mean? Even open up this podcast, when we taking out. I have a little blooper or something like that. What if I don't have any missteps or misquotes?
But what if you could hear the followers' comments on what you said about in the podcast and you'd be like, you know what? People actually responded that well. I can let it rock. Or people hated it and I can adjust. Like the problem is that the data that you get from hearing any conversation about you is so much more valuable than taking it back words that it's all in your mind and your perspective in the first place.
Well, I think that at this stage of my life too, bro, like if I wasn't like in high school and under or even college, knowing certain things, is this girl feeling me or not? What they saying about me? But at this point now, I kind of know who with me, who not with me. So hopefully no one saying nothing crazy about me. You know what I mean?
But you don't know. But with this, you would know. You would know.
Listen, man, I'm a friendly guy. Definitely a lot of acquaintances, even I would say a lot of friends, but people I talk to consistently and stuff like that. I mean, they got my back. So I feel like it ain't gonna be nothing crazy. I'm gonna hear nothing like what. And like I said, my boss already knows she ain't really rocking with your boy like that. So that's fine, man. I'll be up out of here soon. I graduate.
Your boss might be like, Avery, I love that haircut, and be like, I really don't love his haircut.
That's fine. That don't change my life. It don't change my life one way or another, son.
Nah, it might though, son. It could.
But yo, even think about this. Even think about this, dude. What about like you having an argument, whether it be with your spouse or a friend? Sometimes you might say something you regret, and to me, there's some things you can say that you can't take back. So even saying I'm sorry, it's like, bro, I wish I would have never said that though. Even though I've apologized for it, y'all don't feel that way. That was just the manner speaking. What if I literally never said it? I'd rather have
no regrets.
No, I gotta regret. So I gotta regret. I gotta regret.
I mean, you're right. I feel what you're saying. I'm not saying it's not valuable. I'm just saying that it's not as valuable. Like the thing is that you can control what you say.
True.
Like you can control like your emotions. Like you can hey, if you're in an argument, like matter of fact, knowing what people say about you might actually make you a more aware person.
That's true.
You have more data on what you're saying and how it affects people because you just don't know that. Hey, you just like, oh, I'm a friendly guy. I'm just coming out here laughing and joking, and then people go back and be like, you know what, man? Like Avery really got on me. He was joking on me too hard, and I had no idea. In your mind, you have no idea to even take it away. You're like, I was friendly, I was cool. In their mind, they're like, man, like he really kind of dogged me out right there. That information is more valuable to your development as a person.
True.
Than just taking it back anything that you say based off what you think is crazy.
But I've had situations though where I felt like, hey, I went too far. That's what I'm saying. So that's like, dang, I kind of went. Or even a person might tell me, yo, I don't appreciate that drink. You know what I'm saying? So I've had that situation too. So I would think it's more valuable that, because you can kind of, to me, I just kind of know sometimes like, yo, I went too far. Because you can even see a subtle, slight difference in like body language. Oh, even if they don't say a word, like we all laugh and joke. You look in the corner of your eye, like, they probably won't.
But you're talking about the extremes. You're talking about like, hey, I went way too far. It's obvious.
I didn't way too far. I ain't never say nothing in my mind like crazy like that. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, but what I'm saying is, you're saying to a point where you actually know. What I'm saying is that with the other side of this, you get privy to information that you would probably never know.
True.
And that's more valuable as your development as a person. Like you're like, man, like, we had this whole dinner meeting. I'm working with these people. I think they're real, like, because people put up facades all the time, bro. Like, what they say and you express, you like, yeah, like I'm cool with them. I'm cool with them. My coworkers like me. And then you be like, yo, nah, dude, kind of lame. And this is why, they're talking to their people. And now you have privy to information. So you're like, oh, wow, like, I didn't know I was coming off like that. I didn't know I was coming off as arrogant. Now I can change it.
True.
But in the first way, you just can't. You're still all in your head, all in what you think and you perceive, what you are aware of. And it's like the conversations make it a little bit more, I don't know. I just think it's a little bit more valuable. So I'm going to have to hear any conversation about you. In the chat, let us know. Let us know what you think.
Let us know.
Team Avery, take anything back. You team me. Hear any conversation about you. I think I got this one, bro. I'm sorry.
I don't think so, my boy.
I think I got some. I think you right now you want to switch sides, but you can't.
No, not at all, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Because my thing is, people that's really truly important will tell you, bro, if I offend you, cuz, you let me know. You know what I'm saying? My mom, my brother, people that actually have substantial meaning in my life will
the extremes, I will tell you. You see what I'm saying?
Sure, like, but you still love me, so we good, so yo.
I ain't gonna tell you the minor stuff. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna be like, man, Avery rubbed me the wrong way there. I'm not gonna tell you that.
But hopefully,
but in the other side, I will be privy to that. You see what I'm saying? You know how much more
talk about it though. Like, yo,
you know how much more refined of an individual I'll be because I know what you said, the small things.
Look, bro, you might be getting your head too much, man. You hear some bad things. Like I said, some stuff is not coming back from, man. If somebody come, man, this dude, the lamest dude, yo, Or yo, I say it's a boy or something that's really hating on you, son. Yo, ignorance is bliss, man. I feel like
bro. What you mean? So you got a fake friend, and you want them to be fake to you?
No, but I'm saying, what if somebody says something wild? It's like, listen, it's like people that say, would you rather hear everybody's thoughts? It sounds good in principle, but then when you start hearing these thoughts, it's like, bruh, these just kind of crazy. I wish I didn't know this stuff. I kind of had more peace about myself when I was out here regularly. You know what I mean? Like,
I feel that. You might over critique yourself a little bit, but this is very clear to say any conversation. So they have to verbalize it. So that in that extent, it's got to be enough for them to say it.
Sure.
If it's just in their head and it's minor, they're probably not going to say it. So you're not going to get bombarded with a whole bunch of crazy nonsense. It's just going to be like, hey, I got to tell my spouse, I left this conversation with Avery, not in the place that I wanted to. It's not big enough for me to tell him personally, but it kind of affected me like this. You would hear that and you would be like, dang, like, I didn't know I was coming off like that. You could immediately rectify it the next time and adjust going forward, son.
I just feel like people that really rock with you and love you, like I said, if it's a coworker, we got acquaintances. If it's a coworker, man, I really don't like that guy. If you're not affecting my bread and we don't hang out outside of work at all, I'm not going to see, because also I'm not going to say nothing wild to a coworker. So if it's like, bro, this guy came in here, he didn't say hi to me this morning, and whatever, I don't care at that point.
You don't even care?
First of all, I say hi.
I don't care how rubber people are.
Bro, listen, to me, it's like, if you got some staple in my life, that's what I'm caring about. If you ain't in that position, and you know me, bro, I'm always friendly and nice. So my thing, if it's like, he doing too much, that's fine. You can think that, son. I don't really know you like that. We don't got to be cool. We don't got to be friends. That's fine. That's fine. And anyone who I really have a genuine relationship with, if I do something that gets to that level, they will let me know. Because I've had conversations, and also I've had to tell people, hey, I didn't like when you did such and such. You know what I mean? So if it's something for real, I can still apologize. If it's something minor,
So here it is. Bro. This is my last point then. Based off what you just said, then why is it valuable for you to take back anything that you say if the people who rock with you, and that's the only people you care about, is going to tell you anyway and you can apologize? If they rock with you anyway,
sure,
and you can apologize because they're telling you verbally, then you don't necessarily need to take it away.
But the thing is, sometimes when you say things or even an apology is not enough though, bro. Sometimes you can apologize for stuff. There's stuff I've done, speaking of regrets, and that's why, go back, I think it was episode 1 we talked about it. I hate when people say no regrets, because there's times I've said things in my life to different people I really love and care about, did certain things. It's like, bruh, even though I've apologized for it, I wish I didn't ever say this drunk, because it's
for sure
deep, you know what I mean? So to me, I've had situations like that, and if I could take those away, that's better than me than saying sorry for something. You know what I mean?
But that's where it's no regrets, man. It's about your development, man. You know what I'm saying?
But you develop and know it. You say it and like, that was wild. You know what I'm saying? Because usually I know. Usually I know when I say something.
Bro. You'll watch your words a little bit more carefully, knowing that you can't take it away than knowing that you can. You're gonna let some stuff fly. You're gonna get mad, but I'm gonna take this away, but I'm gonna get this off right now.
Hey,
you're gonna be a trash, you're gonna low-key be a trash individual because you know you can just take it away.
Bro, people say it all the time, like write out something, write a letter to someone, never send it. I've heard that before. That's therapeutic. Low-key, I be zen now.
So you gonna just go off on people and take it back.
Boy, right here. And then also see how it lands. Sometimes the people be like, you know what, I needed that. I probably say, you right, actually. I was feeling myself. I was a certain way. So you never know. You can take that chance knowing that, let me see how it lands.
You can take a chance. Or you could just hear what they had to say and come back to them and have another conversation. If they rock with you anyway, it's okay.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. All right, we gonna let it rock, man. In the chat, let us know. This is probably like our first one that we like really on polar opposites of.
Yeah.
So it'd be good to see like what y'all think. All right, babe. Give us the last one, man. What we got?
Okay, last question. Would you rather have skin that changes color based on your emotions, or tattoos appear all over your body depicting what you did yesterday?
What kind of question is this, yo?
Colors, tattoos. Okay, here's the thing, right? When we say all over our body, I know people that have literally like their tattoos start here, like you could have a whole bunch up to here, and it's everywhere. Right. But you can wear like what I'm wearing now and really not see my tats, but I'm tatted all over. You know what I mean? So if I had something like that, I'd probably choose that, and I'd forever be in long sleeves, man. Long sleeves. But if I got face tats, that's crazy, bro. Come on, man. I got face tats out here. Just give me the skin color.
Listen, bro. I'm gonna tell you right now. No, go ahead. No, you tell me. What side you picking on this, bro?
Listen to me. I still will consider someone whose tattoos start right here and go all, and they got everything all the way down. I would consider that they're tatted all over. So I would take that one, bro, over skin changing color, especially as a black person, bro. That's gonna look crazy, man. That's gonna look crazy, dog.
Look, bro. All right. So let me tell you this right now. Mm-hmm. It's absolutely not the tattoos, bro. It's absolutely not the tattoo.
I think I know what you're about to say. Go ahead.
Don't.
All right, let me say it real quick then. You might say this. I know, here's your little hack. I'm going to be just chill and mellow, so I'll always be black. I'm just going to be regular. Like my emotion, I'm going to be monotone and chill, so you really not going to see.
That's not what I'm going to say.
Okay.
That's not what I'm going to say. That's not what I'm going to say. Just hold your position, bro. Your tattoos are depicting what you did yesterday. And everybody knows. Everybody knows. Like, if whether you're doing good stuff, bad stuff, whatever in between, like, bro, you picked your nose yesterday. It's depicting that on your skin somewhere.
That's fine.
And like you said, like maybe, okay, if you try to break the would you rather, like everything is clothed and clothed. Yeah, that's cool. But like imagine your spouse. Imagine your kids, like people that's in your house where you're not gonna wear clothes all the time, but everything that you did yesterday is depicted there. Everything.
Yeah.
When you took a dump yesterday, it's depicted on your skin, cuz.
Okay, that's nothing. Listen, people that love me.
No, it's something. Like, don't say it's nothing. Like, bruh, you're around people like that. You don't everything, bro. Like, think about everything you do. It's not thinking like the holistic, like what it's not a summary of your day. What you did yesterday is gonna be depicted all over your body. Every action that you took. Sure. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. Like you wouldn't want me to know everything that you did yesterday.
But you're not gonna see it. It would be only a spouse seeing. I literally would just cover myself up all the time.
You think that, you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, you gonna go swimming? You're not gonna go swimming no more?
Oh, you wear a little swimsuit, bro, a little swim joint. I went surfing this summer for the first time.
That's what I'm saying, bro. It's all right. So now what you're saying is like, I'm able to cover. So you breaking the joint.
No, but
you're able to cover all your tattoos everywhere.
Yes.
No one can see anything.
Bro, that's what I said. I've seen people that their tattoos start here, and then it's everything, the whole chest, and it starts right underneath their neck. Literally, I've seen it.
But that's not what this say.
So you talking about I got face tattoos on my nose, everything.
It says all over your body, son.
Bro, you would consider a person that has those tattoos, they're tattooed all over, bro. I'm talking about my legs, everything. All the way down to everything is covered. My legs, my butt, my back, everything. But you just don't see those spots. To me, I would consider that someone that's tatted up, bro. If you want to say no, bro. Okay, so if I got face tattoos and stuff, then obviously no. Obviously, no, you have to take the skin color. Yeah, I don't want a face tattoo in general. It's going to be hard to get jobs in life, bro. Even hand tattoos, I don't necessarily want that in general, man. There's still a stigma. You know what I mean?
I guess what I'm saying is the question is like you don't know because it says tattoos appear all. Tattoos appear all over your body. Sure. You have no control. You can't say, oh well, like this is it. Like, nah, you don't know if it might pop up on your hand, it might pop up on your face, it might pop up on your back, and it's still depicting what you did yesterday, which could be anything. Well, I'm not doing that, bro. I'm not doing it.
If that's the case, then no. But to me, I would still consider someone that has tats there, and I'll still have to alter my life, bro. If I wear pants and long sleeves every day, that's an alteration to your life, which I'd still rather have. It ain't like I'm just, oh yeah, I'm breaking it. No, it's still an uncomfortable life. Like literally, my kids wouldn't see me without. No one would see me. All of them and the spouse would see me without that dream.
But if that's the case, then cool. Think about it. Like, okay, your skin changes based off your emotions. It's bad. It's crazy, but it's not that bad. All right, you mad? You turn red? Like,
if you turn actually red, that's crazy. So not an undertone. Not an undertone. Okay. Actual red, you know, like vision, that's crazy, son.
Okay, bro.
And you getting locked up. Government coming to you, son. Government coming to you, locking you up. 100%. You have to think about that. You got to think about that. I think about that all the time.
Right. And your tattoos are not getting government locked up?
No, because who gonna really be like, oh, this guy tattoos changing? First of all, you'll be a freaking, oh, listen, yo, maybe cut that. Hey, listen, hey, I edit that out. Actually, you will be already maybe on the edges of society.
We ain't editing nothing out, man.
I ain't trying to get nobody against me, son. Listen, let me start again. All right, so the government will be coming for you. The government will be coming for you. Yo, please, man. Edit that joint out. Say, yo, we got people from all over. I don't need us to get canceled before we even get started. Saying, yo, you don't rock with tattoos. Listen, this joint. Let me start again with my take about the government coming for you. Hold on.
It's too much.
No, it ain't. Here's exactly what I was gonna say. Listen, the government will come after you, bro. I think about that all the time. If you can fly, you got to be stealth with it. If the government see you flying, they're for sure gonna capture you and torture you like they do in X-Men, every other movie. You don't watch it a sci-fi. 100% you're getting captured. How can you do this? Let's try to harness this and use this for something. If you're changing wild colors, dog, wild colors, a bright red, a green, a
based
blue,
off your emotion, bro.
Don't matter how you doing that. And can we use this for any other purpose? Because there'll be other things.
How are you doing that? Nah, bro. Give me the skin, man. Give me the skin because, in a nutshell, it's just not that bad. And okay, yes, people do that all the time. They wear their. You ain't never heard somebody wear their emotion on their sleeve.
Yes, but you ain't never seen somebody turn a different, like a visibly, not like an undertone. If I turn red with these speakers right here, or if I turn yellow if I'm feeling sick, son, that's crazy.
Okay, but what's gonna happen to you? Like what? How people gonna respond? Like if you mad, if you in a situation where you about to fight and you're getting angry and you turn red, that's gonna hurt you.
That might help you for
this dude crazy.
Okay,
you sad.
And you turn blue?
I'm turning blue. Oh, that's gonna hurt you? They're gonna be like, are you sad? No, I'm not sad.
You think that's what they're gonna say? Are you sad? They're gonna look at you turning blue like the girl in Willy Wonka. Talking about, are you sad? That's their first thought.
Okay.
Are you sad, bro? No, they gonna run out that room. Head, yo, there's something going on with kids, man. Call 911. Don't call 911, bro. This ain't now. No, don't call nobody, please. You be in a lab somewhere. I'm telling you, son. I'm telling you, they capturing you, bro. It's over for you. If I got tattoos everywhere, I'm just like a regular person. Not a regular person, but I'm just like anyone else that got a lot of tattoos, which not a lot of people have tattoos all over. But there are some people that do.
Bro, you got a picture of you using the bathroom on your skin, bro.
People got
that's not gonna be it, bro. It's too explicit. It's too like nobody gonna want that. Give me the skin change color all day because in the worst case scenario, people gonna be looking at me crazy, but it's gonna be my honest emotion. If you're mad, somebody's just gonna know that you're mad. Wow.
It's not the fact you're mad. It's the fact that you're changing colors and if you go to like red as these shoes, yellow as these joints here, it's gonna look crazy, dog, and you will be captured by the government.
Okay.
Somewhere, 100% chance, guarantee, dog. Guarantee you're not living a normal life.
I can still just be a hermit, bro.
Well, if you never leave, you can never leave the house with tattoos too. Same thing. If you don't want to,
but I can still have friends, or I can still have family. I can still have people close to me rock with me, and they just know I just wear my emotion on my sleeve. But you, bro, everything like I really don't think you're thinking about everything that you're doing today and that being on your skin, bro.
You will get captured by the government 100% and tested extensively. I'm not even joking with that. I believe that wholeheartedly. You're not even thinking about that. You think about, it's going to be weird having you want a toilet on the side of your face. Absolutely, but I may not necessarily get captured by the government. Yo, I'm telling you.
Why would you not necessarily get captured? Like, why would the government not think that's weird, but me changing colors be weird?
It's crazy, bro. First of all, people may not, if you got tattoos all over, people wouldn't have to be paying attention to. If you're someone just super tatted up, you can't make out every single thing on them, bro. You know what I mean? So my thing is, even you may not realize, like, hold on, your tattoos might be changing. Bro, you're getting captured, bro. I'm telling you, son. You're getting captured, my boy. You're getting captured, dog.
Tattoos appear.
Yeah, that's fine.
They appear on your body, son. Real time.
That's fine. I'm taking the tattoos, my boy.
Come on, chat. Y'all know what time it is, man. Give us in the chat.
Both of these is rough, but
neither one of them are good, but it's a clear, like, nobody wants anybody knowing anything about all of them all the time, bro.
Sure.
My emotions are just hey, this is how I'm feeling. I'm jealous. I'm green. Envy, cool, whatever. Like, dang, bro, you mad? Like, cool, whatever. But your actual acts of what you did yesterday, the possibility of that being that anybody seeing that, like you saying, I'm gonna be covered up. But bro, there's a chance you might not be covered up. There might be a chance with, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's this possibility. Somebody might actually be like, hey man, what you do yesterday? Like you said, at this point, you still kind of strange. You're still kind of strange. Somebody might just be like, hey man, nah, we taking you.
But the same way you talked about choosing your words carefully, you just start living differently too. You live differently.
Okay. All right. So why can't I do that with my emotions? So now I'm zen. Now I'm zen.
What did I say at the very beginning of this? Got you. That's what I was saying. Literally said you're gonna say. Oh, I know what you're gonna say. I'll just be zen, and I ain't
no. I'm only saying that in response to what you're saying to me right now. Oh,
you can't live right. You can live
so
right.
I can now change how emotional I get.
Right, you can only pick your nose with tissue then, and nobody gonna be tripping. They see you blowing your nose in the tissue, dog, as opposed to using a finger. That ain't crazy. I mean, it is crazy. You on the toilet, but everybody does it. It ain't like it's nasty. It ain't crazy. It's like, all right,
okay. Listen, bro. Because this show is a family-oriented show, we'll leave it PG, bro. But you know what I'm talking about, bro. There's too many things that can happen and exist that you do not necessarily want depicted on your body at all given time, and they appear at random. Period.
That's why I say I'm covering up my whole self, man. I'm covering
all right, bro.
All the time.
Okay.
Bro.
Cool. Let us know, chat, man. You'll know. We'll find out. We'll find out.
Sounds good, man. All right, listen, guys. Moving along to our TV movie segment for the week. There was a movie that just came out. We referenced it earlier on Netflix called You People, and it's got a lot of people talking. And so, You People. Here's the official synopsis. It says it follows a new couple and their families who find themselves examining modern love and family dynamics amidst class and cultures, societal expectations, and generational differences. And so basically in the movie, you got Jonah Hill, who's playing a Jewish gentleman. It looks like they're in LA, I believe. Yeah, they're in LA for sure. Playing a Jewish gentleman who starts dating Lauren London, who is a Black woman who's Muslim. And they start dating, and it kind of just goes through the family dynamics and stuff like that. There's a lot of stars in this movie. I mean,
a lot of stars.
Eddie Murphy, Nia Long, Lala Anthony, Mike Epps, Andrew Schultz, Deion Cole, just a whole bunch of people. Like every time people's popping up, like, oh, this person here, there. And so, yeah, man, what you thought about the movie, man? You got a chance to see it?
Yeah, I did get a chance to see it. In a nutshell, I think I liked the movie.
Okay.
The cast helped for sure.
True.
It's Netflix, so the production is dope. The music selection, the cinematography was like, it's top tier. So, you know, and even the story, like when you really, really, really peel back the story, I like the message that they were trying to go for. So I like it.
Okay.
We can get into it, but I'll just say that off the rip. I liked it. What about you?
I did like it as well. It was enjoyable. I don't usually watch comedies like that. Just because to me, I think sometimes it's hard to do comedies. I do like watching stand-up. I watch stand-up kind of often from different comedians, even like lower known people, lesser known people. But to me, this was good, pretty funny, man. Pretty funny. I thought Eddie Murphy did a great job. To me, his characters had like some of the funniest lines. He was really, really good. And I was like, okay, is this just his genius or
Side note.
What's up?
Maybe, how do you feel about Eddie Murphy in general as an actor / comedian? Like, are you a Eddie Murphy fan? Let me just ask you that.
I would say yes, because I watched Eddie Murphy movies back when he was in his prime, even though I wasn't necessarily around when these came up, but like in the 80s and 90s, I believe it was probably him in his heyday. So I watched his stand-up raw. I've seen Delirious as well, which were funny, but crazy. Like those stuff probably wouldn't fly now. So I've seen him doing that. I like Beverly Hills Cop a lot. And he had other movies where he was kind of like the main action guy. He was kind of like what Will Smith did in the 2000s, / maybe Mahershala Ali doing now, or that one other guy. You know, he was kind of the biggest or one of the biggest actors in general. So he had some really good movies and things like that. But I think in general, it's harder to do comedies, like I said. So to me, I'm not necessarily run into a comedy movie to run. So he had also the phase where he did Dr. Dolittle and stuff like that. Those weren't all that to me. but at his heyday, it was good. He also had that movie Dolomite Is My Name that came out a couple years ago on Netflix. I really like that. That was a good comedy. You know, it was a more adult comedy thing and stuff like that. So
yeah,
people like Eddie Murphy, man, and I respect him because like, if you go back, have you seen his stand up, Raw or Delirious?
I have. I respect Eddie Murphy for who he is and what he's done for the culture for comedy. But unpopular opinion, bro. Not an Eddie Murphy fan, bro. I just really could. I like, in like, you know what I'm saying. Don't come for me, people. But in a nutshell,
your best part of Shrek, maybe, son.
Listen. I could leave Eddie Murphy, son. You know how they put it in the list where they be like choose one, gotta go. Depending on who the other people are, son, Eddie Murphy is a clean and easy gotta go, son. For me personally.
Okay.
So
I compared to some other comedians, you're saying?
That's just a sidebar. Yeah, like just in general, like honestly, like even in this movie, I could have dealt with a different person, man. You know what I'm saying? Like the comedy that he was trying to bring in, the persona, the person that he was playing as the dad, I just didn't really believe it, honestly, bro.
Really?
Yeah, I'm like, this is Lauren London's dad. He's supposed to be big and bad, Muslim, like super black, super pro black, like, you know, really enforcing, like, come on, bro. Like, I don't believe that role, son, honestly. Like, I'm good.
Let me tell you where it may have fell apart to me is that I feel like, because actually, like my dad's side of the family is actually Muslim. And so to me, I feel like where it fell apart a little bit was that he wasn't that devout as they were trying to portray it.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
He was supposed to be like, I'm this devout, like, nah. But then, you know, he was not necessarily following the traditional, maybe Muslim views. If you're going to take such a hard stance against like, yo, we need to do this, you wouldn't necessarily behave in some of the ways he's behaving, like with the cursing. I guess they was even one point in the movie, he was living a wild life himself when he was younger. So that was maybe the only thing where it's like, he wasn't necessarily embodying those traditions or the views.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to like. I'm not gonna harp on it too bad because it's comedy and the whole movie was a comedy, but it was like really for me, it comes down to a lot of shows that I watch, a lot of movies that I watch. Is like, do I believe this character? Like, does the character that this person is playing draw me into the fact that I forget that they are who they are? You talk about like the great actors, right? Leonardo DiCaprio, the range in that he can do. So it's like when he does something like, what was that, Remnant? Like while you're watching the movie, you're not like, that's Leonardo DiCaprio. You know what I'm saying? Like you're inside the movie. That whole movie, I was just like, this is Eddie Murphy. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't feel like he embodied the character enough for me to believe that was real. And also, probably these are like my biggest kind of concerns is like the chemistry between Jonah Hill and Lauren London. Kind of didn't believe it either.
I can see that. Yeah.
Like I just didn't like it like the movie in itself. Like it had really great production and plot and storyline and even some comedic moments, but when it came down to it, I wasn't completely sold on the relationships and the roles that each individual actor was playing. There are some that I liked and I kind of like, I believed them. Probably, you know, very low key. My favorite person in the movie, my favorite actor in the movie was probably Sam J, the podcast, like his best friend, Jonah Hill's best friend.
True.
I believed her in that role. Like her stance, her comedy. Like I knew her a little bit. I watched a little bit of her content, which I actually really like. Her voice is dope, and her storytelling is excellent. And so like her like jumping into this role is probably my favorite character in the movie. Oh yeah. Somebody I believe too was the mom, Jonah Hill's mom.
Sure, yeah.
I'm terrible with actor names, guys. So like, don't kill me on this. Julia.
The woman from what's that show? Oh man, I'm blanking. Not right.
I know what you're talking about. The comedy joint.
Seinfeld, yeah. She's the main woman in Seinfeld, actually.
Yeah. I believe her. Like everything that she was trying to get across in that, like her whole persona, I believed every bit of it.
That's true. She did come
You know
on.
what I'm saying?
She could be extremely annoying and
from the
out of touch and
beginning.
stuff. For sure, she definitely did that well.
For sure,
she did that well.
I didn't think of her like, oh, that's that lady from something else that's playing this right now.
I
was
didn't quite
in the
recognize
role
her until just now. Like we put up the thing, I didn't quite recognize that was her. Because
I guess that's good. I guess that's what I'm saying. So I mean,
I wouldn't have recognized her in general, though, honestly, just because she looked kind of like a more generic type. To me, she don't. I mean, for me personally, I wasn't necessarily big into Seinfeld. So I wouldn't. I would have recognized Kramer or Seinfeld himself or the shorter guy for sure. But her, she kind of blended in a little bit to me. Where even Eddie Murphy, as soon as he come on screen, he's looked the same for now at least 20 years with that low haircut. He's had that exact same look.
Like that. Right.
That's literally his look now. He has the little low cut with the goatee. He's been looking like that for a long. So as soon as he came on screen, Eddie Murphy, you know what I'm saying? No denying.
Yeah. Hey, Mike Epps came in there.
Mike Epps was funny. I like Mike Epps' character, man.
I like Mike Epps' character. He was an uncle. It was believable.
Here's the thing, absolutely. But he also plays that same character about every movie. He plays that same little silly person that come in there, don't quite got his act together, make some funny comments. You know what I'm saying?
Shoot. What's up? So we got a chat. We got somebody in the chat. Ashley says that she believes Mike Epps should have been the dad. How you feel about that, dog?
I think so, but maybe because the thing is, if he would have just been like, if they would have maybe took out the Muslim factor and just been on the pro-black stuff, then maybe so. He could have been funny. But since you had the Muslim factor, because he was also referencing that a few times, like this is why you should be my dad. I don't know if he would necessarily did body that role either. You know what I'm saying? Because then it's like you're doing too much, kind of like these are almost two different things.
I'm with it. I just told you my unpopular opinion, which I'm probably gonna get destroyed in the chat for.
Oh no, man, for sure.
Give me Mike Epps in this role. I think I'd take him too. I think he plays that role a little bit better. Like, first of all, he's supposed to be. Listen, I think what it comes down to is that, in some regard, Eddie Murphy in this movie was supposed to be intimidating. He was supposed to be intimidating.
True.
And I don't get that from Eddie Murphy. Like, period. It's kind of like even Jonah Hill, like his character, like if he was supposed to be the intimidating one, like would you really take him as the intimidating father figure? I wouldn't, but I think Mike Epps could have played that role better. Shoot, I feel like Deion Cole could have played that role a little bit better.
Now Deion Cole, but even with Deion Cole, even though he was in there, he did great as well. He has like a range of like he don't ever get like he has more of that dry comedy. So if you came like real stone faced throughout and like I'm not flinching, I'm not impressed at all, he would have did well as that. That's true because that's just him in general. So I think sometimes
that's what I'm saying.
We see certain people. If they don't do like makeup or like a timepiece, for instance, you mentioned DiCaprio and The Revenant, or even I'm thinking about even to me, Eddie Murphy and Don't Bite Was My Name. He was good in that, but he had the little wig, little 70s. They gave him a little gut. So it's like, Eddie Murphy now, where people couldn't hide themselves. So for sure, Jonah Hill kind of seems like just his regular self. What you think of Jonah Hill? Like you don't take him too serious, kind of silly, a little bit of a pushover. But he's also that character in Mad Movies. You know what I mean? Like that same guy. Like you know, hey guys.
I did like Lauren London in this. I mean, I know that I've seen the memes going around. It's Lauren London, right? Like we already know, but like I think she played this role well. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think she played this role well. So I liked her in that. I just didn't believe their chemistry. Like it was a lot of moments like when they were supposed to be really sentimental and intimate, where like the hugs was just like
they didn't do enough.
They was like, you know what I'm saying? They was like this. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like if you try to sell me on the fact that y'all are like madly in love in 6 months.
Yeah. They could have fast forwarded a little longer. They definitely could have fast forwarded a little longer.
Why it had to be 6 months? Could have been a year.
2 years even. Yeah. I think one thing though that's interesting is that with their character, I feel like their first interaction was good. Their first interaction in the car, I think that was pretty good. And even the date, I like how they did a little time jump of them laughing and stuff, but there wasn't quite enough of that to sell. That was pretty much it. Then they showed them in bed one time, but they were kind of like being silly. You know what I'm saying? So
I
they do a great job establishing like, hey, we're together and like really attracted to each other.
I could rock with the silliness. I think I even like their banter. Their banter was believable. Like the actual dialogues that they had between each other, I think it was written very well and it was believable. It was just the actual physical chemistry on screen did not translate to the conversation, the dialogues that they were having.
I agree.
And I just can't do it. The last criticism that I will have for the show, it's not that bad, but I felt like they were pushing the whole sneakerhead community like a little too far. Like they tried a little too hard to be like, yo, like we're about the sneakers. Like this movie didn't need that. It didn't need to be like they're showing all these hype sneakers. I don't know like where you fall in the sneakerhead realm. I'm not like a super hype, but I'm definitely not, your average consumer, right? I'm like somewhere in between that. So I know the shoes they got out there, the Witherspoons, like the Air Maxes she found under the bed, like, oh, like these are his shoes, like, bro, but they're like super desirable hype sneakers and the Gucci slides she was wearing and all these other things. It was like, yo, like they was trying a little hard for me. Like they just didn't need that in this movie. Like, so, other than that, like I said, I was entertained.
Definitely was entertaining. It's a good watch. You can watch it through. It ain't boring at all.
Yeah, the cast was dope. I mean, like that's probably one of the dope, like name, like line for line, name for name, like probably one of the best casts like we've seen in a little while.
Probably the best cast since, and that's why Netflix got that money, man. It's probably the best cast since that last Netflix movie, which was Don't Look Up. Don't Look Up had mad people too. That was Netflix.
That had mad people.
Netflix just dropping the bag, bro. Netflix just dropping the bag.
They got the money, son. They got the money. Like
I liked it, man. Like I said, I don't usually watch comedy, so it's definitely entertaining. I did laugh a few times too. Some of the jokes I thought were witty. Even though you didn't necessarily believe the Eddie, you didn't think Eddie Murphy has some good like jokes though. You were saying.
I'm not an Eddie Murphy fan, bro. Like, so what I'm saying is like when he say jokes, they don't land for me as well as they do. Like they like, yo, that's what I'm saying. The stand up, like, yo, Eddie Murphy stand up is crazy. But I watch it and I'm just like, I get a couple of chuckles out of it. Like it's just not like that for me. And I understand it's unpopular. I'll be on that side. But
it's also really
Eddie Murphy.
Eddie
Murphy humor not. Yeah, his humor not like that.
It's like watching Cosby stand up. People said Cosby was in the 70s. I never watched Cosby stand up, but I bet it ain't that riveting watching it now.
Riveting? Did you say riveting, bro?
Absolutely, I said riveting. Collegiate vocabulary.
When the last time somebody said that? Yo, that's crazy.
Nah, I didn't.
All right, so before I kill it, right? This is probably my best part of the movie because we've been hitting it with some. I said some things I like. I said a lot of things I didn't like, but probably what I liked the most about the movie was probably the message. I like the idea of like a romantic flick that was about, a deeper connection other than physical appearance or like it was what they tried to sell you on, which they didn't do the greatest job on. What they tried to sell you on, it was like these two people, they got each other. Like they kept on saying in the show, like, I want you to see me. And I think that was really dope and really relevant to like the world that we see today where people are on Instagram. It's so facade. So much of it is like what is perceived to be good. Like, oh, this is dope. But they were actually trying to really try to hone in on the fact that it was like, no, like the appearance didn't look great, but like beneath the surface, they really understood each other and they really rock with each other. And that's what I believe is actually the signs of a positive and a healthy relationship. So I would salute them on that. I did like what the writing, like I said, I like the writing of the show, the movie, but I just feel like there was a couple of things that they just kind of tried to force too hard, and maybe a couple of people that were out of position in terms of like the characters that they played.
And let me say this too. This is what I think, just in general, like I said, I don't watch comedies as much. But low-key, little hot take, usually rom-coms, which that was in a romantic comedy, they be decent though. Like to me, they never like, oh my, you must watch, but it's like, it's a good time, son. You know?
It's a good, they got the good feels.
It's a good feel. it's pretty entertaining. The pace is usually pretty fast, so it ain't like this junk dragging or this junk slow. Even though the movie is about 2 hours, but it's a pretty good pace and stuff. So yeah, man, romantic comedies in general pretty good, man. This one will have some laughs. But let me get your thoughts on this, bro. What did you think about, I guess, the couple? Because at one point in the movie, spoiler alert, I think we've done a good job before, not really spoiling it, but here's a spoiler alert. They kind of showed that basically the differences at one point became too much between their family, the familial differences.
Yeah.
What do you think when dating or in marriage? Could there be certain things which are like too much to overcome, or like, because this one they had the fact that Jonah Hill's mom was very like, that's once again going back to awareness, no self-awareness at all, just very inappropriate, saying kind of stuff that was very cringy consistently. And even Eddie Murphy's character, to me, he was giving him a tough time, but it wasn't like crazy. Because I think a lot of dads we've seen that portrayed a lot, where the dad is kind of giving the guy a tougher time. So I feel like Eddie Murphy's dad wasn't necessarily as bad, but the fact that race kept being brought up a lot, and then also on top of the race, you also had the religious beliefs that were contrasting as well.
That's a big one too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so the question you're having for me is, do you feel like that's an accurate depiction on what relationships, like, are obstacles that relationships have, or you feel like what's the question?
I'm not even sure how to phrase it, Zach, but do you think there could be some things that even if two people love each other, but like, hey, there's just
too much to overcome
factors that we can't, even though we have, because that's what happened in the movie. They still loved each other, but it was like, bro, everything else, every time we go out, it's a whole thing with my friends, with your friends, with my family, your family. It's just too much, man.
Yeah, it's a good question. I think.
Let me say this too for the audience. So this is a spoiler, but what ended up happening is the reason they were able to get back together is that the family recognized kind of their ignorance. Eddie Murphy was like, you know what? I've been way too far on you. You kind of a good dude, even though you're white. It's fine. You treat my wife, my daughter right, it's fine. And then the mom was like, yo, because she kept like using her as like a token black and so much other stuff that she kept making every single thing about black. Even one thing that was kind of funny is like, as soon as she came in, she talked about police brutality.
That was wild. That was a wild scene. Bro, the man was singing, the dad singing John Legend is like, that was crazy.
See, it's pretty
funny. He came back in the room.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Ordinary people.
Or he kept talking about Exhibit, like, yo, I love Exhibit.
Yeah. Do you know him?
World? Do you like Exhibit? What are we living in? So that's like, if somebody asks me, did you watch Pimp My Ride? And they keep talking like, bro, why you keep bringing Exhibit up? Like, everyone like Pimp My Ride, but like, what are we talking about here? So they put basically at the end of the movie, the people came together and they were like, yo, they recognized like, I've been tripping, essentially, let me do better. So that's the only reason they were able to get back together, because if it wasn't for that, it was too much. So the question you, Leland, is like, could there be a situation where two people love each other, but then everything else on the outside is like, bruh, it's too much?
I think so, and this is the reason why. I think me personally, having been in a relationship for a long time, just my position on it is that a relationship, or love for that matter, is a choice, right? So like, I feel like even at the core of it, like, you have to choose, like, both people have to choose that they want to do this thing. They have to commit to it. And, ideally or realistically, there are things that could make someone choose, or it could just be so hard for them to choose that route. It's going to be difficult. And I don't necessarily know that they're in it. Now, I think, I do believe that it shouldn't be like that. I do believe, like, kind of how they started the movie was kind of how it should have ended. I didn't really like the idea or the concept that the parents had to get them together before they like really realized that. Because a lot of it at the beginning was like them understanding, like, off the rip, they were like, you are not my type, I'm not your type. However, we vibe together. And so that, you would hope and believe that would be like the undercurrent to their entire relationship, is like, hey, we know we're not each other's type. We know we're coming from different worlds, but the chemistry that we have, the things that we share is just so strong that I can't let it go. It's not something that I can recreate in other ways, right? Even depicted a little bit when they broke up and Jonah was going on dates and stuff like that. It was just like, it just was falling flat. So I didn't truly really like that was the way that they got together because their parents both apologized. It felt a little weak to me. However, it's also very real. Like there are a lot of scenarios where other outside forces are at play in someone's personal inner relationship. So I don't know if I answered your question, but
so yeah,
I think that does play out a lot in reality. I hate that it plays out in reality. I get that. Honestly, I would prefer, and I believe that like what matters, especially in a marriage, is like what y'all got going. Like y'all, it's really y'all against the whole world, right? It's your teammate, it's your partner. Like whatever we got going, forget everybody else.
True. I think that, like you said, I agree pretty much. I think that if two people love each other, it should be enough. But unfortunately, I don't think it is, man. And I heard a good TED talk about this recently. I wish I could use that analogy here. Talking about clothes, essentially. Maybe next week I'll have to come back with the analogy. It was pretty dope. But anyways, I think that you kind of need more than just that, man. You need situations to work out. Like you could have two people that really, really love each other. And if a job or like a military service takes them somewhere crazy and it's like, well, I have to stay with my mom here. Like my mom or something is sick. I have to stay here. Well, I have to kind of go here. We do love each other, but just the way life is working in the ideal world, this distance wouldn't be a thing, but it happens. So I think you do have situations, whether it be like that. You could also have money. You could love a person and like just other tendencies. You still love them and care for them, but there's so much other stuff. So in the ideal world, love would be enough, but I think there are other things that go into making it.
For sure.
Yeah.
I think there's a compatibility, right? Like It's like, are we compatible? And that's why I said when my first thing was like, it's a choice because at the feeling of love is not enough, in my opinion, because that fades, that changes from day to day. You just have a bad day, and if you fall in and out of love with somebody, you're gonna have a very, crazy relationship. But I think ultimately, you want to be able to, have a strong enough foundation and baseline to your love that y'all kind of work it out. But it's just not always the case, bro. It's not always the case. Some things are tough, man. You got to make that choice. Like, do I want to struggle with these external factors for the entirety of our relationship? And that's a real honest question, man. It's a real honest question to a lot of people.
Definitely. And then the last thing I'll say here before we move on is just I wish they could have showed also that reconciliation process a little more. Like at the very end, it was kind of like both parents apologized and like, all right, that's enough. And then even spoiler again, they just got married right after. Like, hold on,
that was wild. That
like
was
they literally,
to me.
Once the parents apologized, they surprised them. Like, all right, guys, you guys should get married now. Like, maybe not necessarily. Could have found someone else
in the sneaker. Yeah, like that was a little movie like for sure.
But I wanted to see, because I think it's a good point to what we're both talking about. There's times where things happen in relationships. I would have liked to see the parents work through and like to become more culturally competent, culturally aware, more sensitive to the other's needs, but without like babying it. Because I think that even the mom at first was kind of like sensitive to the fact that Black people are going through police brutality, but your approach in bringing it up wasn't great at all. You know what I mean? Like, nor the time. Yeah. So I would have liked to see them kind of like flesh that out a little bit, but I guess time constraints. The movie was already at 2 hours at that point. But yeah, we agree there, man. We agree there, bro.
Yeah, the pacing at the end was a little rushed, and I feel like they could have did a slightly better job. But overall, like I said, I'm not gonna matter. All right, last take. What are you giving it?
Out of 10?
Out of 10. What are you rating this movie out of 10?
I'd give it a 7. Maybe 7.5, because it did what it's supposed to. It was, like I said, entertaining throughout. I did laugh.
Strong.
I did. I mean, like you said, it was shot very well.
It was shot very well.
I feel like at least a 7. It did what it's not a bad movie. It was entertaining.
Yeah.
People, I think, will watch it will have a good time. Yeah, a 7.
I'm not too far off. I probably give it close to a 7, maybe a 6.8 or something like that. Like I was happy with it. Like it's not a waste of your time. It's definitely dope. So
all right. So moving into our sports segment for the week. It was a big week in both the NFL and the NBA. And since we are more hoop heads here, we'll start with the NBA. The biggest news in NBA this past week is LeBron and the Lakers lost after a controversial no call at the end of regulation to the Boston Celtics on Saturday evening. LeBron drove to the rim. Yeah, it was hit by Jason Tatum on the arm as the game expired. Regulation at least. What do you think of the game? Did you get a chance to watch it, man? What did you think of the ending?
I didn't watch the game.
Okay.
I did see the controversial ending because maybe it was probably RDC World, right? Where they did Supreme Dreams, did the skits that they always do, which was funny. Yeah, the call was tough, man. Like, that was a bad call. Like, I'm not like everybody, I don't know everybody knows, but everybody should know that I'm not a LeBron fan. I'm also not a LeBron hater. I respect it. I respect him, but he cries a lot about calls and fouls and stuff like that. But in this case, it might have been the boy who cries wolf, bro.
I never seen him flip out like that. He went also crazier. People are talking about a flop, and I'm a huge LeBron fan myself, but he went crazy, man. This kind of reminded me of like a J.R. Smith actually at the end against the Warriors, where he had his arms up like this, like, you know what I mean? So to me, I think it's tough because he was having a great game, man. LeBron's having a great game. Boston Celtics, I think, #1 record in the whole league. So Lakers are struggling.
They needed that game.
They needed it.
It was a huge statement game. LeBron
on ABC
played
prime time. It was on ABC prime time, I want to say as well.
And LeBron played out of his mind, and he made a great play at the basket. Like, aside from getting fouled, they win the game right there.
100%.
If they call the foul,
they
call the foul, or he doesn't get fouled, they win the game.
Absolutely.
That's tough to know. And then go into overtime and lose.
Let me share this with you too, man. Lakers are struggling right now too, and they've had like 4 bad calls in the last 2 weeks. I saw something that said, if they had won their 4 games instead of the ones they lost, that the refs have came out and said afterwards they made mistakes. You know what? Guess where they'd be in the West, son?
Where?
4th place. As opposed to like 13th, dog. They 13th currently. So the West is so bunched up. So that one call, bro, it's and also we like 50 games into the season. You know what I mean? Like, the season about running out. Every game counts. So I felt for him, man. I felt for him.
That was tough. Yeah, that was tough, man. I didn't like that. We talked about this a lot, man. I know we talked about it with my dad. In sports, man, the refs, you don't want to even know that they there.
That's a fact.
Like, you don't want to feel the referees. I seen something on Facebook real wild. It was like one of the refs, one of the NBA official refs, his wife is a Boston fan. And she tweeted about, like, go Boston or something like that. And it was like the record that Boston has.
Oh, I saw that.
Officiating the games is like 21-3.
I thought it was like 36-2. I thought I saw something crazier, dog.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. But I was like, that's kind of wild. Now, granted, it's hard to like really kill this man because Boston has been a good team for.
It ain't been that good though. That record ain't even quite that good. So even at home,
I mean, it ain't that many games. It's 40 games over like probably 4 or 5 years.
Sure. Yeah.
So maybe 10 games a season he's doing. And
but the thing is, they're not
so
as good as
to
that
win
record. Even their home record. That's what I'm saying. Even their home record wouldn't be as good. I don't know if he's necessarily colluding, but also, and you see, hopefully we'll put it in the video, he also was looking right at him too. When they showed the screenshot, or maybe the ref didn't see, he's like, oh, my boy, he like 4 feet away, actually. Like, eesh, you know what I'm saying?
Man, he slapped his wrist super.
You should have known. You should have known too. Here's the thing that's tough, man. I feel like LeBron, he don't get like that same superstar whistle that he used to get. Because even dude, he's like 3rd in the league behind just LeBron, just Zion and Giannis as far as drives to the rim per game. And also in field goal attempts in the paint per game. To me, even at his age, just shows the level of dominance. He's 3rd in the whole league in both categories. Drives to the league, drives to the paint, and field goal attempts in the paint. And then restricted area more specifically. So the fact that his free throw shooting, he around like 6 per game, he don't really get that same whistle, man. And then Giannis is like 13 free throw attempts a game. And so to me, you should have known, and we see refs do this all the time, when they lay up the ball, if a person misses, it's like, okay, somebody probably touched them, you know what I mean? Like if he wasn't going to make it, I wouldn't call anything. But since you missed it, let me call it. And that joint just like like hit the backboard and fell straight back. It didn't even hit the rim at all. Like,
yeah, a layup. A layup.
Like, he just hit the backboard and came right back to him. Like, you should have known, okay, he's not going to just miss that joint like that. Son.
Nah, not like that. It's going to hit the rim and bounce around something like.
Something. Not even I ain't going to miss a layup like that, bro. Come on. It's crazy, man. And so, speaking of the refs, man, we kind of talked about it recently. And the refs even, I didn't even know there was an official NBA referee Twitter page, but they made a mistake, which I didn't want to hear as someone pulling for the Lakers. Here's their official statement. They said this: like everyone else, referees make mistakes. We made one at the end of last night's game that is gut-wrenching for us. This play will weigh heavily and cost sleepless nights as we strive to be the best referees we can be. Listen, guys, just like the Shannon Sharp apology. First of all, you went way up. You're not having no sleeping, like a gut-wrenching for you. You'll be losing sleep.
Bro.
You just went way, like they went to the top. Yo, this is
sleepless nights.
Gut-wrenching. Yo, relax, man. That ref probably slept like a baby, and the other refs on the crew for 100%. The one 100%, everybody else slept like a baby that night, son. We gonna lose sleep.
They slept like a baby because they probably got paid for it. That joint was wild, son.
Or it was that man on the baseline supposed to call it. I'm chilling up on the other ref. So to speak for the whole referee community, like I guarantee, gut-wrenching. Sleepless nights, come on, son.
For missing the call, bro. Stop playing, bro. Y'all have no bearing on that, son.
Bro, yo, listen. Okay, so did you also see that Pat Bev, he got a tech for showing a referee the picture? I thought that was really funny. But also, listen.
That is a funny picture.
He got a podcast. Maybe this will make it way too long. Yeah, I don't really like Pat Bev, man. I'll be honest with you, man. It's a lot. When I was playing against, like when teams were playing against him, I didn't like him really either because he like just always doing too much. And now on the Lakers, and I'm pulling for the Lakers, and he's past his prime. Now it's like he's really doing too much, man. Like to me, to get the tag, bro.
I think it all kind of summed up to one thing. Like I wasn't a Pat Bev. I thought he did a little too much. You know, but I understood why he was doing it. Like, that's how he stays in the league. I ain't mad at him for, like, that's his niche. It really was for me when he was like, I'm coming to the Lakers and, like, they playing with me now. That was the joy. When he said that, yo.
He said, yo, how's it going to be to play with LeBron and AD? He said, listen, I made the playoffs last year. They playing with me this year. Like, man, come on. It's just so much stuff, dude. Even last night, too. Did you see the clip last night with Kyrie? He was guarding Kyrie, and then Kevin Durant was on the bench laughing because he was like, oh, rah, like doing all this. And then he got a foul call like 10 seconds into it. And people were in the comments like, because I watched it on YouTube, they were like, yo, that's good D, son. Pat Bev, he played good D to the end. My thing is, if you play aggressive D for 10, 15 seconds and then get a foul at the end, you've literally done nothing. You've done absolutely nothing. The guy's not going to be tired after those 10 seconds. It's paying that KD was laughing on the bench. It's just like you're making a lot of noise, which goes to Russell's quote like a couple of years ago when he said Pat Bev just running around out there. He ain't really doing nothing. He just fooling out, running around. And so to me, Pat Bev, for anyone who wasn't pulling for the Lakers, y'all laugh it up. It was a funny moment. Him showing a ref and hey, that's a foul. It got us a tech. We lost the game by 4 in overtime. If you don't get that technical free throw, now we down by 3. You can get a last minute shot. To me, it's like you got to just be smarter than that, man. And Pat Bev just doing the most to me. It was funny though, sort of. I was heartbroken by it, but
it's crazy because it's always really crazy for me. Like NBA players, like what are y'all really trying to? Like, what are y'all really trying? Like, bro, the refs are not gonna go back because
they've never
really like, oh, you know what?
Actually, except. And here's the conspiracy, yo. Zoom in on me. Zoom in. Here's the conspiracy. Only time I remember a ref changing the call, if you remember this, Golden State versus the Cavs. Late in the end of the game when Kevin Durant drove, they called a charge on Kevin Durant on LeBron. It was a close game. And then they came and talked, and it was like, all right, it was a block. I was like, what? Do you remember that joint?
I don't remember that joint, bro.
Bro, we'll get it after, dog. Literally, it was a tight game down the stretch. Probably less than 2 minutes left for sure. Kevin Durant drove, LeBron slid in there. They called charging foul. Then the refs came and discussed it a little bit, and then they reversed that joint, and it was like, son. But outside of that, hey, this could be a little LeBron conspiracy theory. Outside of that, for sure, they're not changing it. So to me, you going up to the ref talking like the dude at the free throw line shooting free throws saying,
it's over.
It's over.
It's over. It's over. They're not like they pride is not going to allow them to just like, all right, we'll change the whole game outcome. They're not going to do that because then Boston's going to be mad. Like it's just too much going on. Like, just sit down and play the game, see if we can win it, and then at the end of the day, even like you said, the whole apology is just for nothing. It's done. Like, I don't want no apology for a game that I should have won. I don't want no apology. There's nothing you can do about it. Unless you're going to give me that win.
That's it. So do you think that fouls should be reviewable? I think my last question on this. Do you think that teams should be able to challenge? People have talked about it before. If there's a penalty that happens, or if there is a penalty or a foul, penalty in NFL, foul in NBA, should you be able to challenge? Hey, he drove, y'all didn't call anything, but if you look back at this joint, he did get fouled. We know that you can challenge it the other way currently in NFL. And NFL and NBA, you can challenge it the other way where like you call something, that wasn't it.
You can challenge a call, but you can't challenge. That's a really sticky and slippery slope, man, to try to call something, to challenge something that wasn't called. Yeah. That's a very, like, bro, that's a slippery slope, man. I don't know. It would be nice because you want them to get it right. You want them to get it right.
Let me say this, though. Even in the NBA, they've done it now where if a person shoots a three-pointer and their foot was on the line, they have people in New York, quite literally New York, where the headquarters are, that go back during the game and you'll hear watching the game, hey, that three from last quarter, his foot was on the line here, boom. Or I've seen it even, hey, that play that counted here, the guy stepped out of bounds. I've even seen him do that. He actually stepped out of bounds here and they take the jump off the board. So you look up like, what happened? Yeah, that play from last quarter is gone. So they kind of already a little bit there. My thing is, if you give them one challenge, they already have one challenge now. I think if you were able to use that one challenge the other way, it may be slippery, but not crazy slippery, even in the sense that I think for challenging fouls, if you had it like you can only look at it in full speed too. Because in slow mo, there's going to be a lot more contact. So for challenging fouls, the refs get to look at it again in full speed. They can't slow it down because in slow mo,
that puts a lot of pressure on the refs, man. That could change a lot of dynamics in the game because the reality of it is that you only get one chance to do it, but there's so many missed calls in the game.
That's true. That's why you get one challenge.
I know, man, but that could change everything, bro. That could change everything.
But here's the thing, though. The NBA already currently, too, releases the 2-minute report where they go through all the missed calls in the last 2 minutes of every game. They have that. So my thing is, if you're going to come out and say, yo, we blew this joint, I might as well have the opportunity. Now as I'm thinking about it more, I think I might as well, if you're going to give us this report the next day anyway, so you know what, guys, you blew it, my bad. You might as well at least give me the chance. I got one challenge to you, so I can't be challenging everything like in the game slow down too much because I still only got one challenge. So if I use it on like a key crucial play.
Maybe if you did that, if in the event that you use your challenge in the last 2 minutes, like it has to be some kind of constraint because you can't be playing all game and the refs got to know that they got to, like, I don't know.
The thing is, right now as it stands though, the team only gets one challenge and I don't believe it's like the NBA. It's actually not. It's not like the NFL where if you win that challenge, you get to keep it. You can keep it. No, you got one challenge for the whole game, so it's not going to be too much crazy on the refs because once you use that joint, that's it. Like, we're not going to go crazy on challenging and looking at everything. Whereas even for the NFL, sometimes they do it a little bit more. So something to consider, man. Something to consider. But yo, continue with the NBA, man. Continue with the NBA. The NBA All-Star starters were revealed this past week on TNT as well. We'll put up here for those viewing the starters for the East and the West. So in the West, LeBron James is the captain, meaning he'll choose the team. You also have Luka Doncic and Steph Curry as the backcourt, the guards. And you have LeBron, Jokic, and Zion Williamson as the starter front court members. For the East, you have Giannis Antetokounmpo as the starter, as the captain, Kyrie and Donovan Mitchell in the backcourt as guards, then Tatum and Durant after. So overall vote getter, LeBron was a leading vote getter, 7 million, over 7 million. Giannis was at 6.7 in the East. So those are the two captains. And I just wanted to ask you, man, did you think anyone was snubbed? Who was the biggest person who should have been a starter? Do you think there was a snub, or do you think they got it right?
Man, it's kind of crazy because you brought it to my attention actually in our in our production meeting, right?
Uh-huh.
But Joel Embiid is kind of crazy, man.
What you think?
I don't. I mean, looking at this starter, like I don't know if Kyrie Irving needs to be a starter per se. Is his numbers like that?
The numbers are pretty good for Kyrie, but you got to also think about it's guards versus front court. So you have to have two people that are from the guard position. So they had Kyrie and Donovan. And if you look here, we got the voting results as well. So the next closest would have been Jaylen Brown or James Harden. So you think you like Brown or Harden getting in there over Kyrie? Or Tyrese Halliburton for Indiana is leading the league.
No. I like Kyrie. I guess you're right. The guards have to be guards, but yeah. I think Durant, Giannis, and Tatum. I mean, I think you're picking them over Joel Embiid, man. I mean, especially with the fans.
Yeah,
big men are always kind of slighted when it comes to fan vote. It's this the natural way, man.
Yeah, he came in fourth in the fan vote.
Yeah,
for his position in the Eastern Conference. So you had KD, Giannis, and Tatum had more fan votes. They pretty much did better than pretty much in everything, actually. Fan, player, and media, essentially. So
that's what I'm saying. So it's hard to say, man. I mean, I think the way the season he's having, the numbers he's putting up, I feel like he definitely deserves to be a starter, but who can say that these other guys don't? I mean, Giannis ain't having the greatest year, I don't think, of his career, but he's still Giannis. And so the fan vote matter.
Fan vote matters. He's having a good season still, nonetheless. Like, so on the season, Giannis is putting up 31, 12, and 5. Embiid is at, I guess, 34, 10, and 4. And I think what's interesting is because even last year, bro, there was a little bit of talk about for the All-NBA selection. So I'm definitely consider myself a historian for the game. I follow it closely. I'm on Basketball Reference a lot. I'm on Wikipedia a lot. And so people were saying, hey, for the All-NBA selections, it's usually 2 guards, 2 forwards, 1 center. But Embiid had a really good year. I think he might even finish second in MVP last year. And they're like, yo, how is Embiid going to make second team All-NBA? And I'm like, bro, listen, that's just the beat, son. If there's 1 center, Jokic got it. You're on second team. It's like, yo, Shaq played at the same time as he overlapped with Olajuwon. He overlapped with David Robinson. He overlapped with different people. So there's only one position. There's one position. Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain played at the same time too. So my thing is, that's just the beats, my boy. So I don't.
It just is what it is. And for centers, there's not that many good centers. So
true.
There's not that many centers in the league in general, like pure centers, and there's not that many great ones in general in the history of the game. So it's just it's a bit.
Hold on though. Here's the thing though, bro. When I look at the all-time record, you might think about it too, bro. Low-key center that got the most stacked position, dog. If you look at like maybe a lot of people's list for top 10 players all time, center got like 3-4 of them. You talking about maybe Wilt, Kareem, Shaq.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
right, but in the scheme of all the players that's played of all time, there's not that many very great dominant centers. Like you can literally name on 2 hands, probably 10.
And those 10 is in the top 30. That's what I'm saying.
No. That's what I'm saying. That's what it's because of that they're very esteemed, because it's like to be notable, you had to be dominant at that position, and that's not very common. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I get that.
Kind of remind me. I think about it, man. I'm not even his fan, but they just really did him dirty, man. Dwight Howard not on the top 75.
100%. He should have got there, bro.
That's the biggest snub of the decade, bro.
100%. Dwight should have got there.
They really dropped the ball on that, son.
And you know what's crazy, son? He may not make it, bro. I'm being honest with you. He may not make it in the next 100 because it's like, bro, if you're not thinking about Dwight in 2023, who says in, what is that, 25 more years? In 2048, you're going to be like, you know what, Dwight Howard, man, he should have. Man, there's going to be so many great players.
The league is going to be completely different at that time. I mean, the center position is not even going to be the same.
And listen, because I look at this closely, I can't speak to like the guys that played in the 50s and 60s. I don't know about all that. However, the guy who 100% Dwight should have took his spot, Reggie Miller, man. No doubt, son. No doubt in my mind. Reggie Miller got 4 All-Stars. I'm going off the top of my head here. I think only 4 All-Stars, one All-NBA selection, and I think it was third team. So you're talking about a guy who was never a top 10 player ever in the league, where Dwight had a stretch of the best big in the league, and for sure a top 10, arguably top 5. I would even say a top 5 guy in the league with them Orlando years.
He might have had one season when he was about top 3.
Yeah.
He had some MVP caliber seasons for sure.
Yeah. And I think what hurt Dwight, man, is that, and it's unfortunate it shouldn't. I think also same thing with Vince Carter too, because you could make a case for Vince Carter also have been on the list. He's better than some of the guys. Most notably, Reggie Miller is the main one. Sorry, Reggie, if you listen to this, man. Just look.
Bro, I think the one person who shouldn't have been on there. They talked about Dame was on the list.
He's still better than Reggie.
Anthony Davis.
Listen, Anthony Davis, a dog. Anthony Davis for sure. Also, that's what I'm saying. He had some years as a top 10 guy, top 5 guy. You know what I mean? And he was a champion. Yeah.
Anthony Davis top 5. What season? We got to go back on that.
He got some first All-NBA team selections for sure. So there were some years he was
okay, but as a center, okay, cool. But
he also could do other.
I mean, he top 5 though. That's what I'm saying. It's the same argument we just said.
Top 5, that's fine. He was 100% top 10 if you factor in both 10 years of the floor for at least 3-4 years, man. He at least had 3-4 years.
With a weak team that didn't go anywhere, and he was hurt all the time, and they didn't go nowhere in the playoffs. He didn't even play in the playoffs his whole time in New Orleans. He didn't even make it to the playoffs.
I think they made it once and ran into the Warriors actually first round. But my thing is
that was if anything, if I'm Dwight Howard, I'm looking at Anthony Davis and be like, ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way you put Anthony Davis.
Right now, Google Reggie Miller. When you see these pedestrian numbers, son, he got one third-team All-NBA selection, dog. I believe it's just one. So he's like one time he was a top 15 player once, not even consistently. Bro, Reggie Miller don't deserve to be. To me, it's so much stuff, man. Reggie Miller for sure don't deserve it, man. I looked at his numbers, son. I think he never averaged even over 23 points per game either. It's measly, son. It's measly. I would for sure take Dame over Reggie, and I'm taking AD over Reggie personally. So that was the one guy, because for the top 75 list, they kept the same people from the top 50 there. So out of the top new guys, that was the guy where I was like, bruh, this joint look kind of fugazi to me. But for sure, Dwight should have made it. Oh, what I was going to say is, I think him playing too long, just like Vince Carter played a longer time, that kind of hit him, because people didn't look at his prime anymore, but you looked at him bouncing around the league and being a bench rider. And it's unfortunate. You should just look at a player's peak. But since he kind of had all those years where,
I hate the NBA for that, man, because they did that to my guy, man. They blackball. They're doing it right now, bro.
Melo?
Yeah, man.
Melo need to be in the league, bro. He need to be in the league for sure.
There's no reason for that, man. Like
he had a good year for the Lakers last year. A good year.
What I said. There's too many teams that could use. I mean, you talk. I've heard rumbles about Golden State. I heard rumbles about Boston. I heard rumbles like, bro. If you talking about somebody can come off the bench and do what he can do, it's ridiculous. And it's this notion, this narrative that people are like, oh, he's a cancer in the locker room, but it's like, he's never been that.
Yeah. So certain people, same thing with Dwight. They were like, yo, he don't take the game seriously. And I saw him on the Actually Shannon Sharp podcast, and he was like, bro, if I don't take the game seriously, how do I look like this? Like, you don't just, and like, I was like, dude, that's super valid. Dwight, you ain't really never seen Dwight Howard out of shape. Even now,
never.
You can't say he's not taking it seriously if you coming in with your body in shape. And he said he had a lot of injuries, which he did. The back injuries, I think, started even with the Lakers. And then he had a lot of injuries coming up too. But he was like, bro, I take the game seriously. I play hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just be out there smiling. But he was like, dude, like, and then he was also like, how am I not take the game seriously to be a 3-time defensive player of the year? You can't say I'm not taking the game seriously if I'm a dog out there on defense, and rebounding champ too. Dwight was undersized too. Dwight really like 6'10-ish.
And he went to the finals, bro. He took that Orlando team to the finals. That's crazy.
Yeah.
They didn't put him in that top 75.
For sure, the biggest snub for sure. Put Dwight in there, take Reggie off, no doubt to me.
Easy. And what's so crazy, I can't stand Dwight Howard. I've always like, Dwight Howard's trash. But come on, bro. With the people they put in him, I can't even. Come on, bro. Come on, man. It's come on. Like, that was wild. That was wild.
It's true, man.
Listen, which is crazy.
Real quick, on the West Coast, man, there was a little bit of chatter with Zion making it. He made it in the 4 position. It was Zion. It was LeBron and Jokic. Do you think someone else? We got the games here.
It's a bonus, bro.
Zion only played 29 games. Let me read out the stats for people. So Zion this year's played 29 games. He's been hurt. He averaged 26 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. And Sabonis has played 46 games. He's averaging 18, 12, and 7. So more rebounds, more assists, way more games played. So you think Sabonis should have got it?
Give me Lauri Markkanen, give me Sabonis over them, over both of them over them, just because of the amount of games played, and the impact they have to the team. But that's what I'm saying. Then you start to get into the fact that it's still popularity contest.
It's still popularity, and I ain't trying to see. Sabonis got a nice game, but low key Sabonis play like me, son. Like just a bigger guy. Okay, I play like Sabonis. Sorry, or whichever way. He's much better. Sorry.
The disrespect.
Listen, what I'm trying to say is he's below the rim. He's kind of just, bodying guys. He got good footwork, but it's not flashy.
He kind of like Jokic, but just not as good. And not as big.
Jokic to me also get it because he got the flair on the passes. The passes are much more flair. And also Jokic to me got a way better long ball. And even just Jokic's arc on his shot, even a regular jump shot look a little fancy from Jokic because he kind of got that real big arch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but Sabonis, he hoops now. Like,
he hoops. He's good. He's good, but it's flashy.
That's just, it's not flashy, and he's just not. He's not. Yeah, for that position.
He's on the Kings. So I ain't too mad at Zion when I saw
Kings is what? The Kings was like number 2 in the West a second ago.
Yeah, so the Kings right now are ranked number 3 in the West, and then you have the Pelicans currently ranked number 8 in the West. So yeah,
but Zion ain't been playing for weeks. So
exactly.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, I understand. It's a popularity contest, which is cool. I ain't mad at it, but
for sure.
I know there's players that's mad at it. You know what I'm saying? Did they put Klay Thompson? I know Klay Thompson ain't in this joint.
We don't have the rest of the roster yet. But listen, let me tell you. Oh, we say that for another time. When the rest of the rosters come out, maybe in a week or two, I got a hot take from last season to share with you, dog.
The last joint was what? They changing the All-Star.
Oh, yeah. So the All-Star format has been changed now. So the 2 captains, you have LeBron and Giannis. What happens is they're going to choose their team. The rest of the players will be announced later. And so usually they've done it on TNT. It's been really funny. I remember last year or 2 years ago, you had the KD and LeBron were the captains, and it was pretty funny because James Harden had just requested a trade. And neither guy kind of James Harden, and they were making jokes like, "Oh, I need some size. Let me take Rudy Gobert." And it's like, bro, for sure, James Harden better than Rudy Gobert. But
for sure.
But
that was crazy.
No one wanted to pick him. That was pretty funny. Chuck was making jokes. LeBron was making jokes, and KD was sitting there, actually looking like you a little bit at beanie. So he was sitting there and looking kind of. KD was kind of sitting there, man. But anyway, so now instead of it being on TNT like the week before or something like that, it's going to be live as a pregame. So the players will be selected right before as a pregame. What you think, man?
A true pickup game.
Pickup style.
That's kind of crazy. No practice. You pick your 5, you pick your 10, 12 people. Let's rock right now.
I like it.
It's gonna be interesting. First of all, I would just say this, man. Shout out to the NBA. Shout out to Adam Silver. The commissioner, the what they did with the All-Star game is amazing. It's so crazy because if you're a fan of the NBA, you know that the All-Star weekend was all about Saturday night. The dunk contest, the 3-point contest. Like the All-Star game was just a consolation prize because they knew nobody really cared and nobody really played. When they started to change the format of how they was played and each quarter matters,
they did a quarter.
It literally, it made the All-Star game the focal point to the weekend, as at the same time, it's kind of like the dunk contest and the 3-point contest kind of like weak now. But the All-Star game is great now. And so I don't see that this is going to make it any worse. I don't know if it's going to make it better. Maybe they would have like a little bit more time to actually come up with game plans. Like this is going to be like kind of raw, like for real pickup style. But
they're not really doing game plans, really. I don't think they're really doing no game plans.
I mean, they have like practice and shoot around. They have like simple sets.
Yeah.
The coach can kind of get some combinations together. It ain't got to be nothing crazy, but something.
Sure.
I'd be interested. I'm tuning in. I'm going to be interested to see how this actually plays out.
Absolutely. I think
it's going to be interesting for sure.
I think it's a little messy though, bro. I definitely
for real.
I can see people being in their feelings live, getting selected
Live.
last in the starters. You getting selected last because they pick the starters first. It's like, hey, bro, what's up? Hey, that's cool. Or then even the last pick. And don't let nobody, because I'm in your face. Like before we was laughing about Harden. Don't be laughing now. We choosing between, you know what I'm saying? Like last June.
They're going to be going out there.
Like,
and they're gonna immediately be playing. Like, pick your team. Let's go right now. Lace up.
I come out there and send Julius Randle the last pick. You like, hey man, and then like I said, don't let nobody laugh. So just don't laugh at all. Make your picks. If I laugh or people smirk, so it'll get messy out there.
It ain't gonna be the people. It ain't gonna be the people, bro. It's gonna be the fans. The fans gonna be like, the fans.
Oh, that's true. But then if the fans start laughing, the players for sure going, especially maybe not the captains, but you know the other players gonna be like, yo,
it's you.
The last pick. And you know what somebody said, what I think is interesting, the last thing I'll say is somebody said, yo, this would be their first time in these guys' lives being picked last, man. That's a fact. The last pick ain't probably never been picked last before in their life playing ball. You know what I'm saying?
Ever. Not in no pickup game, bro.
Or in regular, we talk about guys that's, top 10 coming out of high school, top 10 draft picks, all-stars, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, bro, I'm getting the last pick and y'all laughing at me. That's crazy. I'm going to come out there trying to, go crazy on them, man. So, yeah, bro, that's it, man. Looking forward to All-Star Weekend. Also, in the future, we will do an All-Star draft either next week or the week after, depending on how the recording schedule looks. But we want to thank you guys so much for listening to the podcast. That concludes another episode of the Yo, Hear Me Out podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Please like, share, subscribe to our YouTube page at Yo, Hear Me Out podcast. And also follow us on Instagram as well at Yo, Hear Me Out pod. That's it for today, and we'll be back next week. Thank you guys so much for rocking with us. Peace.
Thanks, guys. Peace.